My name is Marco Leas, State Representative from the 21st District, which includes Edmonds, Linwood, Mukilteo, and parts of South Everett and Mountlake Terrace. I'm actually sitting at my desk here on the House floor. This is where I'll be spending most of the next week. For the last couple weeks, we've been in committee working on bills that have been proposed and trying to decide which ones to pass on to the full House for consideration. And now we've passed the cutoff for those committees, and the full House will take up those bills and take a look at which bills should be passed out of the House over to the Senate for their consideration and which ones should wait for further action or further study in the future. So I'll be sitting here for most of the next week doing a lot of work with my colleagues on some of these issues across the state. One of the bills that's on the floor calendar, this is actually a copy of our floor calendar, is my notice of closure bill, which extends the period of notice of closure for folks that live in mobile home and manufactured housing communities from 1 year to 2 years. It's an issue that a lot of seniors have brought to me in our district that live in these great communities, trying to give them more time and more warning when their park is potentially closing. So it's on the floor calendar. I'm going to be working hard to try and get the full House to vote on that like we did 2 years ago. Just an example of some of the work we're going to be doing here in the next week.
Can you talk about your role and work on the Transportation Committee?
Yeah, I'm really privileged to serve as the Vice Chair of the House Transportation Committee, which really allows me to play a leadership role on transportation issues across the state. Just an example of one of the issues we're taking up is the Transportation Committee decides what the goals are of our State Department of Transportation, what the goals are of our transportation policy at the state level. And this year we've got a proposal that would actually add economic vitality as one of the goals of our transportation policy. So rather than just focusing on congestion or just focusing on safety of our highways, we should also think of our highways as economic development for small communities and large communities. And so that's an example of one of those statewide policy issues where, as the Vice Chair, I get to play a role in that discussion and play a leadership role in deciding which issues that committee takes up and how we address statewide transportation needs.
And you have a transit bill in that committee, is that right?
Yeah, we actually just passed that bill out yesterday. For folks that live in our district, they'll know that community transit is looking at deep cuts because of a loss of revenue. Community transit depends on sales tax revenue just like the state government does, and as I've shared in previous video updates, that sales tax revenue is down, which means that community transit's revenue is down. So they're looking at suspending service on Sundays, making deep cuts to their system. My bill would give them the ability for a limited period of time to levy a vehicle license fee to help backfill some of that lost revenue. It'd be about $20 a year for the average auto driver, about $1.50 a month, which is a cost, but I think keeping our buses running, keeping that public infrastructure in place is really important, and I'll be pushing for a vote by the full House on that bill.
And how can constituents get in contact with you?
I think anyone that's seen one of these video updates knows that email is the best way to get in touch with me. We also have a 1-800 number. We also have an office number here in Olympia you can call. I also have had a lot of people visit. Just today I spent time with some tourism folks from our district and some Catholic advocacy folks to talk about issues important to our community. They came all the way to Olympia so folks can come visit. And then a unique opportunity is coming up just in a week and a half on February 20th. We're going to have 2 town halls with Representative Roberts, Senator Shin, and myself. So 3 for 1 if you come to Edmonds Woodway High School or Mukilteo City Hall. Basically, any way people want to get in contact with me is great. Always look forward to hearing from you.